Good morning to all. So I am welcome you all to my today's session. So today we are going to see exceptions in Java. So these are the topics which we are going to see today. So what is exception handling in Java? What are the advantages of exception handling? Hierarchy of Java exception classes, types of Java exceptions, Java exception keywords, and how to implement try-catch block, and what is the problem without exception handling, and what is the solution by using exception handling, and how to implement finally block, and throw exception. So these are the topics which you are going to see today. So let us see what is exception handling. So what is exception in Java? In Java, an exception is an event that disturbs the normal flow of the program. It is an object which is thrown at runtime. So otherwise we can tell it's a runtime error. What is exception handling? Exception handling is a mechanism to handle a runtime errors such as class not found exception, IO exceptions, SQL exceptions, remote exceptions, etc. So these are the various exceptions occurred during the runtime. So handling this type of exception is called exception handling. So what is the advantages of exception handling? The core advantages of exception handling is to maintain the normal flow of the application. So even though if exception occurs, error occurs during the runtime, it does not affect the flow of the program. So that is the advantage of exception handling. Here is an example scenario. There are 10 statements in a program. Statement 1, 2, 3, 2, 10. So if we have an exception occur in statement 5 during the execution, the program will be interrupted and it stop if we didn't handle any exception handling. So the further 6 to 10 statements will not be executed. So to avoid this scenario, we use an exception handling and we make the statements 6 to 10 to be executed even though if exception occurred in the statement 5. So this is the advantage of exception handling. So hierarchy of Java exception classes. So the main class is java.learn.throwable class is the root class of the Java exception hierarchy. So as shown in the figure, the throwable is the root class and it is inherited by two subclasses, error and exception. So the exception is further inherited by two major classes, checked and unchecked exceptions. So checked exceptions are IO exceptions, SQL exceptions, and other checked exceptions. Unchecked exceptions are runtime exceptions such as arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, and other unchecked exceptions. So these are the hierarchy of Java exception classes. Types of Java exception. There are two types of exceptions, checked and unchecked. And here an error is also considered as an unchecked exception. According to the Oracle, there are three types of exceptions, checked exceptions, unchecked exceptions, and error. So let us see what are these exceptions. So checked exception. The classes which directly inherit throwable class except runtime exception and error are known as checked exceptions. These are the exceptions which are checked during the compile time itself. So during the compilation itself, it identifies the exceptions in the program. For example, IO exceptions, SQL exceptions, etc. Unchecked exceptions. The classes which inherit the runtime exception are known as unchecked exceptions. So these are all checked only at the runtime, not at the compile time. So such type of exceptions are arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, array index out of bound exception, etc. So these exceptions are occurred during the runtime. And third one, error. Error is irrecoverable. So for example, out of memory exception, virtual memory error, assertion error, etc. So these type of errors are irrecoverable. And Java exception keywords. So in Java, there are 5 keywords which are used to handle exceptions in Java. So the 5 keywords are try, catch, finally, throw, and throws. So try keyword is used to specify the block where we should place exception code. So the try block is a major block where we place our code which will occur and which we expect an exception will occur. The try block must be followed by either a catch or finally. It means we cannot write the try block alone. Catch. The catch block is used to handle the exception. So what are the exception occurred in the try block that will be handled by the catch block. It must be preceded by try block, which means we cannot use catch block alone. So catch block cannot be written alone. It is preceded by the try block. It can be followed by final block also later. And third keyword, finally. The finally block is used to execute the important code of the program. It is executed whether the exception is handled or not. So in some scenarios, we need to execute some certain codes, even though if exception is handled or not handled. So in that scenarios, we will be using finally block. And fourth keyword is throw. The throw keyword is used to throw an exception. So this keyword is used for you mainly throw the exceptions for customized exception. And throws. The throws keyword is used to declare the exceptions, not to throw the exception. It declares the exception. It does not throw an exception. It specifies that there may be occur an exception in the method. It also used with the method signature. So these are the 5 keywords used in Java exception. So let us see how we implement a catch block. First, let us see a try block. Java try block is used to enclose a code that might throw an exception. It must be used within the method. So what are the code we expected to occur an exception will be placed inside the try block. If an exception occurs at the particular statement of the try block, the rest of the codes or the block will be not executed. So it is recommended not to keep the code in the try block that will not throw an exception. So what we are saying is, if the code which is not going to produce an exception must not be placed in the try block, because if an exception occurred, the statement will be other statements which does not produce an exception will not be executed in the try block. So that is why only the code which is going to produce an exception will be placed inside the try block. Java try block must be followed by either a catch or final block. So let us see a syntax. Here's the syntax. A try is a keyword used, and the body of the try block is this. The code which may be throw an exception is placed inside this try block, and followed by a catch block with the exception as a parameter. And catch block. A Java catch block is used to handle the exception by declaring the type of the exception within the parameter. So Java try block is catch block is used to handle the exception by declaring the type of the exception. So we declare what type of exception will be occurred in the try block as a parameter in the catch. The declared exception must be the parent class of exception. So the exception which you are going to declare must be the parent class of the exception, that is exception, or the generated exception type. What type of for example, if arithmetic exception is occurred, we have to specify the arithmetic, not the parent class exception. However, the good approach is to declare the generated type of exception. So particularly we have to specify what type of exception is generated as a parameter. Not a general exception must not be declared. It's a good approach. And the catch block must be used to after the try block only. You can use multiple catch block within a single try block. So you can have more than one catch block for a single try block. So here is an example program which we do not have exception handling, and what is the problem we are going to face. So let us see this program. In this program, I have a main method. In main method, I am just declaring a variable data, which is value is 100 divisible by 0. So this statement will produce an exception. So it may throw an exception, but I'm not going to handle any exception here. And after that, I'm just printing the statement, rest of the code. So if we didn't handle this program without an exception, the output will be, once the exception has occurred, the exception error will be printed on the output, and the rest of the statement will not be executed. So here the system.out.println statement is not executed, so the output does not show the rest of the code. Only the error of the exception is printed. So here's an example output. So the rest of the code is not executed. In such case, the rest of the code statement is not printed. So this is the problem which we face in the program if we didn't handle an exception handling. flow of the program will be interrupted. Here is a solution for that scenario. For example, if we place the int data, the variable declaration inside the try block, the statement which is going to produce an exception is placed inside a try block, and we are catching it by a arithmetic expression. This is generated type. So here we are generating a error exception of arithmetic expression. So the generated exception is arithmetic exception as a parameter is given here, and we are printing the error of that exception. And then this other statements, the rest of the statements are written outside the try catch block. So now the output will be that once the exception has occurred, the exception will be catched by the catch block, and the statement will be error statement will be printed, and the rest of the statements will be executed. The rest of the code is printed in this program. So this is how we execute the program by handling the exception. So here the program is not interrupted by the exception. So it executes all the statements, even though if the exception occurs. Finally block. Java finally block is a block that is used to execute an important code such as closing connection, stream, etc. For example, if you are writing a program for networking, and you are using a program, you are making a connection, and if there is any interrupt by using an exception statements, then the closing statement will not be executed. So even though if exceptions occur, the closing statement has to be done. So for that purpose, the finally block is used. Java finally block is always executed whether the exception is handled or not. So even though if exceptions occurred or not, the finally block will be executed. The Java finally block follows the try or catch block. Why you use a finally? Finally block in Java can be used to put a cleanup code such as close a file, closing a connection, etc. So when we start a program, we will be opening a file or opening a connection, and if there is an exception occur, then the closing the file and closing the connection will not be executed properly. So to make it automatically, so even though if exception occurs, to make them close properly, that means clean up, we will be using finally block. Here is a syntax of try finally block. In try block, I am placing the code which may throw an exception, and finally block is placed after the try block. In this finally block, there are three cases. The three cases are: exception does not occur. Your program, there will be no any exception occurs. At the time, the finally block also will be executed. Second case, the exception occurs and not handled. Exception will be occurred, but you are not using any exception handling in the program. And third case, exception occurs and we are handling the exception handling. So let us see an example program for the three cases. In case one, exception does not occur. So here is a program in which I, in my main method, I am having a try block in which I am declaring a variable and defining a value 25 divided by 5. It does not occurs in this statement, any exception does not occurs, and there is no any exception in this statements. So automatically this statements will be executed properly, and we are having a catch block which is not a arithmetic exception. Here we are just using a null pointer exception. If the data is a null value, this exception will be called, but here the exception is not occurred because the data value is not a null, so there is no any exception occurs. So the finally block will be executed even though if there is no exception occurred. So the output will be the value 5, data value will be 5, and then the final block is always execute this statement will be printed, and final statement, last statement, system.out.println, and this statement also will be printed. So you, even though if the exceptions does not occur, the finally block will be executed. This is the case 1. Case 2, exception occurs and not handled. The same scenario, here we have a variable data, value is assigned as 25 divided by 0. Here we are the arithmetic expression is occurred, but here also we are not handling the arithmetic expression, only we are handling the null pointer exception in the catch block. So here the exception maybe is occurring, but we are not using arithmetic exception. So here exception occurs and it is not handled. Even though it is not handled, the finally statement will be executed. So this finally block will be executed. So the output, the data will not be printed because the exception occurred. So the program is interrupted here, but the final statement will be printed. The final block is printed, and then the last statement is interrupted because the exception occurred. The other statements will not be printed. So this is the second case. In case 3, exception occurs and it is not handled, and it is handled. So this is my main method in which I have a data where the data value is 25 divisible 0. Here the arithmetic exception has occurred. So we are using a catch block. The parameter is arithmetic expression. You are printing the error message, and the rest of the statement will be printed. So the final statement also will be printed even though exception occurs in handle. So the final statement block also printed, and the rest of the code is also printed. So this is how the exception occurs and exception handling also done for a finally block. So this is the case 3. So these are 3 different kind of cases for the finally block. And next one is throw exception. So throw keyword, the Java is used to explicit throw as an exception. So in Java, the throw keyword is used to explicitly throw an exception. So previously the exceptions are thrown implicitly, but in the Java we can throw the exception explicitly. For example, for a customized exceptions, you can throw either checked or unchecked exceptions in Java by a throw keyword. The throw keyword is mainly used to throw a customized exception. So here is an syntax: throw keyword followed by an exception. So for example, it throws a new IO exception, sorry device error. So let us see an example for this throw keyword. So here is a class in which I have a function valid. The valid function is getting a parameter value variable as age and checking condition if age is less than 18. If the age is less than 18, then it throws an exception, throw new arithmetic expression not valid. If the value is not less than 18, then the exception is not thrown. The else part will be printing welcome to vote. So in my main method, I'm just calling the valid method by the parameter value as 13, and the value is 13 is less than 18. So the exception arithmetic expression will be executed. This throw keyword will execute this arithmetic expression in the output. So the output will be exception is in thread main Java, the long arithmetic expression not valid. So not valid will be printed. So and hence this in this statement the exception has occurred. So the program will be interrupted. So the next statement will not be printed in the output. The rest of the code will not be printed. If we want to print this rest of the code in the output, we have to place a try catch block in this statement. So till now we have seen what is exception, what is exception handling, how to handle the exception in the Java program, and what is the hierarchical classes of exception, and then what are the keywords of exception, and then what is the problem faced while without using handling the exception, and how to handle the exception and solve the problem, and then finally we have seen how to implement the try catch block, and then how to implement the finally block, and how to use throw keyword. So this is what we have seen in this today's class. Thank you. If there is any query, just mail to my personal mail, official mail ID, umesh@sedu.ac.in. Thank you.